through the burro trail. No human footprints and no road to this place that we could find. And the burro trail goes off into the distance. Well, I came across this old bucket. It's got a top similar to a carbide can, but I was struck by these handles that are soldered on there. It's like a half moon shaped with room for your hands to get underneath there. That's pretty cool. We're working our way up to this head frame and possibly a tram top, because it looks like these cables that are coming down right next to me here. We're almost up to this structure. Well, this is the top of a tram, all right. I believe this is called a gantry, where the tram comes up and makes its turn, gets loaded and goes back down. So I'm at the top of the tram here, looking up at the ore bin. That would be filled with ore from above. There's must be an operation up above. That's the actual mine. Here's the chute. So the tram bucket would stop here and get filled up right here in front of me, and would continue on along that rail and go back down the mountain. So here's a big piece of steel that's a cable guide. This thing weighs about 25 pounds, and you can see how the cable would guide around that. They'd bolt that on. Here's the main gear that would drive this. So you can see how big those gears are. And then that's an oiler that she's grabbing on right there. And then this is the shaft that comes over, and there would have been an engine somewhere back this direction hooked up to that shaft. So this band right here is a brake. It goes around this wooden drum. Where that rod is, that would pull this band tight. There would have been a lever up where that plate behind her hand is. And you would pull the lever and it would tighten up this band. It's just a band brake. It would tighten up around this drum and it would stop the tram. Up here, it's a cable guide, and this would, as the cable comes around, this would cinch the cable, and these are all still nice and loose. Look at that. So that would go around, and that would grab the cable, and around she'd go, and back down the line. So let's go take a look up top and see where all this ore is coming from that they needed a tram. Up here must be where the actual mine entrance is, or somewhere. We'll find it. This little old power line, kind of neat. There's evidence of a smelter being used around here somewhere. Let's see if I can find one of these bricks like this one right here. Look at all that slag with glass type material that's been melted over the years. This would have lined the oven. Kind of a neat bottle. It's a half pint. It says federal law prohibits sale or reuse of this bottle. There's a neat little housing that somebody made to keep a piece of equipment out of the weather. Just made out of wood and corrugated steel. I see more cables over here. Oh, and there's a huge bull wheel. Two big bull wheels. Wow, this is crazy. I'm standing above a shaft here. It looks like it goes down where I'd have to get on the other side to see how far it goes. But I wanted to look at this area first a little bit. There's two big wheels here, big bull wheels. One of them has spokes. Steel spokes, but you generally don't see them like that, those round spokes. You generally see them this style here. And then a couple big rolls of cables down there. I suppose that this was involved in lifting things out of that shaft. It's probably a fairly deep shaft. And then they sent it down to the top of the tram there to be transported down the mountain to the mill. These are gold mines. And pretty big stuff. Look at the big oiler here. And where I'm standing would have been some footings, probably for a hoist that would lift stuff up out of this shaft. And then this would have been the mouth of this big ore chute that's jammed full of stuff now. That's looking up into it. And there's some plumbing, some water pipes. There's part of an old ladder. Wow, what a pile of timbers up here. A lot of these bigger timbers are like 8 by 12s and 4 by 12s. Let's go up to the rest of this. I might as well finish it off. Just look at the lumber, my God. Here's an 1.25 inch drill bit, it looks like. So I noticed this old can with a handle on it, wire handle, homemade, has a stick in it, and I pulled out the stick. It was an old grease swab. Still got grease on it. It's hard, but it says something on it. National something. Pretty cool. Down below it's another can with like a valve or something on it. I don't know what that is. But look at this nice old, it's a nice can. It's a real Butte, not even rusted, and heavy. The can alone weighs about 20 pounds at least. So I'm back looking down this big shaft, and there's no way I have enough light to illuminate it. There's a huge beam going across here. I guess it looks like a piece of railroad track. This says Illinois Steel Company, Southern Works, 1906. It's broken right here, and there's the corresponding piece, but it's bolted to these big beams, and that must have spanned this shaft, used somehow for the lifting of the ore. This is all collapsed in here. All this is fallen in. There's a big riveted chute of some sort. See, there's another shaft going this way now. Let's see if I can get over and get a better look from another angle without falling in there myself. So I was just over there, looking down that shaft. There's another one here. And this looks like it's plugged down not terribly far, about 40-50 feet. You could rope yourself in there if you were low on excitement. It might get you into a level of this thing. Here's the burrow crew. 6 of them. Well, we're going uphill a little bit. And look what we see, another huge waste pile. Well, Julie's at the base of that waste rock pile. You can see how big it is. It's pretty good size. Let's see what we got here. There's a rat's nest above you. At least the rats didn't bring any burrs in here. Winds around a little bit. So that looks like the vein they're following. Very soft.
Got a lot of that kind of sparkly stuff, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, shoot. Well, a lot of airflow. I don't know what's going on here exactly. Oh, this is the shaft. That's the shaft, all right. There's a ladder over there. Well, I'm partway down this shaft, probably 50 feet or so. And it continues down. Quite a ways, as far as I can see. There does happen to be a ladder system there. I'm trying to talk Julie into it, but yeah, probably not. It ends about 12 feet down, and then it's just nothing. So that's the end of this ladder. Some nice choyas here. As long as you stay away from them, don't brush on them. Always carry a comb when you're hiking in this country, a stiff hair comb. In case you get those in your arm, you can flick them out. Just beautiful out here, isn't it? Well, here's this deep shaft with a somewhat intact ladder system down at least the first 4 flights that I could see. Looks like there were some tracks coming out of here. There's the track ties, the first 3 or 4. Wow, the hot air is blowing out of this shaft like you wouldn't believe. Look at the ladder down there. This thing goes down as far as I can see and then some. It's unbelievable how deep some of these shafts are out here. Timbered all the way down there too. And the hot air is just gushing out of here like there must be another opening somewhere. This looks to be what's left of an electrical substation of some sort. Or a distribution or a step down. Or these 2 big things might be transformer cases. Another one over here. It's got a big lift hook here. The thing's got to weigh 500 pounds. I can't even rock it. And it's got all these plates bolted together. Transformer or something. This must be a big cap for this. And something else over here. What's this all about? This looks like a little ore bin of some sort. Okay, you machinists. I don't know what this is. It's got an arm with the weight on it. It still moves. It says Sullivan Sullivan Machine Company, Chicago, Illinois, and Claremont, New Hampshire. Size DR-83. Shop number 76256. So it's something Sullivan. It looks like it has something to do with pipe. Down there it says Sullivan. I don't know if you can see it or not. But it sure is heavy duty. Looks like this would come down and, I don't know, a cutter of some sort, or I don't know. This may have been the shop area, or maybe a generating plant for the mines in this area, and for that tram and all that. It's not far away. Well, there's this really old hoist here with a old wooden shoe brake, band style brake, but wood shoes. It's got an old wooden chair that it's still there, it's still solid. Julie's pretending she's the operator. There's not a name on it that I can see. Pretty neat though. There's this little building here with a ore bin below it, and a little trestle, which is pretty cool looking. And I don't know, there are some tailings down below us, but nothing right here looks like a mill. So there must be something on the other side of that pile that we can't see, because there are tailings below it. So let's go over there and look. Here's a can dump. There's a jumbo carbide can. Look at all the cans. Here's a big half of a fitting of some sort, a threaded elbow. Looks like a few oil cans. Some milk cans, the ones that have the very small slit in them. Ooh, look at that one. Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. That's pretty cool. Still solid. Well, there's a little covered building that's got the bin in it. There's also twin mouths coming out of it, and the cool trestle going over the top. So apparently there was a road down below here that you could load up trucks with, and this trestle must be some sort of waste pile. We still got to get over to the other side to see where this mill was. Well, there are the foundations for the mill on the hillside there. And here's a lower slab for something. Here are the tailings. I knew I saw tailings over here. Pretty good size patch of tailings. Here's the mill site. Maybe they used that old ball mill for sampling before they brought stuff down to the big mill here. Little shack down there. And the tailings. So in this little shot here, we've got this trestle. We've got the mill here. That little shack with the trestle. And then up higher, the top of the tram. And up above that, the main shaft. And then way in the distance, the waste pile from that second shaft we visited. So this is looking up where we started at the top of that tram. And you can see the tram lines coming all the way down here. They're on the ground there. But they go to that tower and to that tower. And there are two more towers in the distance.